G'day everyone, Jason here with a review of the Marvel Spider-Man Far From Home Lego sets. So we have set number 76128, Molten Man Battle. So I picked this up at Barker's News Agency. It's $49.99. So this set has, you can see Mysterio on the front, you can see Molten Man, you can see Spider-Man in the stealth suit, and a firefighter. So that's the outside of the packet. We've got another action shot on the back, showing some of the pieces that come in and some of the action features. Okay, so the next Spider-Man Far From Home Lego set is set number 76130, Stark Jet and the Drone Attack. So you can see that there's the white jet there, there's a couple of little drones, there's Mysterio again, Spider-Man, and it also comes with a Nick Fury and Happy Hogan figure. So it was $89.99 at Barker's News Agency. Shows the Spidey figure on the top there. On the back we've got just another shot of the plane and all of the characters, and then some of the play features. So here we have the third of the Spider-Man Far From Home Lego sets. This is set number 76129, Hydro Man Attack. So you can see it's a little scene from Venice. There's Hydro Man in the middle there, Mysterio in the background. We've got Peter Parker sort of slightly dressed as Spider-Man. He's putting his mask on. And there's also a Mary Jane somewhere. There she is. So that's the front of the box. And again, this one is $69.99 from Barker's News Agency. On the back we've just got another picture of the actual figures and the scene, and then some of the play features for this set. So let's open these three sets up and take a look at them all put together. Okay, so here we have the Molten Man in all his glory. So this is obviously a brick-built figure. He is somewhat posable in that his legs do have ball joints at the knee and at the hip. There is some rotation in the hip and at the knee. His arms also can move, and elbows as well. His hands can grip on to someone. He is a bit loose in the knees, so you do have to be careful posing him. He's very top heavy, but it is a really interesting build. So there are some clear trans orange pieces that are dripping off, so to give that effect of sort of molten lava sort of dripping off him. There is also a trans chain here which is attached to the Gatling gun. The shoulder pads are sort of free floating, so you can actually move his arms up quite a bit. And then you'll see on the back he has part of a car sort of melted through him. These little pieces here keep coming off on the shoulders every time you move them around. That's the only downside. I've knocked this off quite a few times already, but he has like a steel girder coming out of its back. He also has a stop sign, a lamp post coming out of this arm, and a traffic light with a street sign on it. And another girder coming out of the back of the arm. So it looks like he's sort of a mishmash of materials that's all sort of melted together. And he has obviously these orange clear pieces on him, in addition to these orange pieces that have a gold print on them. So sort of obviously to give you the effect of the lava flowing through. So if you light him up, so obviously you can get that orange glowing and give that sort of effect. And he has a printed face piece. If we have a look in close here, so it's got a print on there which is sort of his larva-y style face, and otherwise the rest of it is mostly stickers on the signs that are popping out of his back. So he stands quite tall by comparison to a minifigure. So yeah, so he does have some size to him. As I said, you've just got to watch the knee joints because he does tend to topple over if you don't set him properly. But you can get him into some good poses. He's got a lot of movement in the arms and legs, and obviously he has the Gatling gun which can be fired off and it can shoot all of those little rounds. So yeah, and there's some connection points where you can obviously have figures connected. So if you want to pose with Spider-Man swinging off his hand or Mysterio floating above him, they can actually stick onto the girders coming out of his back. So around the back, it is actually quite good. It's built up, so there's not too many sort of exposed bricks. Oops, see there, that's what I mean about the knees. He does sort of fall forward quite easily. There's not a lot of grip there, so you've just got to be mindful of that. So basically then, that's the back of him. He's got some orange trans pieces there as well. But overall, it's a nice little build. As I said, it's just that stability in the knee joints and keeping him sort of standing up. You've just got to make sure he doesn't fall too far forward because he does tend to topple over. Okay, so the first of the minifigures is a fireman. So he comes in the standard, I can get to camera to focus. He comes in the standard sort of city fire set. He has the hat in the dark red, and it's a nice little build for his fire extinguisher, an old-fashioned fire extinguisher. He has printing on his legs and his torso, as well as printing on the back. He doesn't have a dual-sided face because obviously he's wearing a helmet and you would see it at the back there, but he's a fairly sort of standard figure who is obviously trying to put out the Molten Man. Next we have Spider-Man. So this is Spider-Man in his stealth suit. So if we can get this to focus on it. So basically he's in a combination of black and grey. He has the goggles on and the ski mask type face with the goggles printed on there. So he's got printing on his torso and on his legs, including his feet. Nothing on the sides. Printing on the back, and he has some nice printing on the back of his head as well, so that continues the band around from the goggles, if you can see that there. So it is hard to see, but if you move in the light you can see the black and grey print on him. So that is Spider-Man with the stealth suit, and he comes with a number of these little web builds. He has this pre-molded web line which can be used to swing off various points on the Molten Man as well. And the final figure in this series is Mysterio. So Mysterio is in all three of the Spider-Man sets, and he's the exact same figure in all three of them, but he has that classic Mysterio look. So if we get into focus here, so basically he has the silver head inside the fishbowl. He has printing on his torso and legs, as well as his feet. He has the purple light cape. He has back printing on the back of his suit, and he has a couple of the little stud shooters here. So basically the whole purpose of these, they look like he's, you know, using his mystical powers, but if you push on the side they shoot across. So that is Mysterio. He looks really good. It is just a plain silver head underneath the fishbowl component. It's a shame that we didn't get an unmasked Mysterio as a variant or a different one, but maybe there'll be some more sets coming after the movie. There might be spoilers involved, so we'll have to wait and see. The Spider-Man Far From Home only hits cinemas here in Longreach Thursday night, and I'll be going Thursday, Friday, probably Saturday, and definitely Sunday. So that is Mysterio. Okay, so next we have the Venice Attack set. So this has obviously Mysterio again. It has Peter Parker in mid-transformation, so he's got the Spider-Man mask on and a little bit of the Spidey uniform showing under his civilian clothes. it comes with Hydro Man and a little base of water that he's sort of coming up in a big swirling whirlwind of water. And then we also have MJ, and she's down here at the gondola. So let's have a closer look at this set. So what we have is a little sort of scene of a gondola. Now Peter Parker does come with a spare hair in here, so if you don't want the mask on, you do have the option of putting his hair on. But the gondola is a nice little simple build. It can fit a couple of minifigures in there and has obviously the stick to push it along the canal. We then have a little sort of a dock here and some steps coming up and across over the top of the water. There is some spider web sort of in place there, and there is a hidden feature in that which I'll show you shortly. And then we have a little sort of a bell tower with a spider web on it, and we have a little coffee shop and a little sitting area here with a cup, a slice of pizza and a newspaper, and this is a little dock area. And if we swing this around, we can see that there's a coffee machine inside the little coffee shop, but it does have some play features as well, so we'll have a quick look at those. So here we have MJ is enjoying a coffee and a slice of pizza, reading the newspaper, and then obviously Mysterio or Hydro Man comes in for an attack, and if we hit this right, or hopefully I can do this one-handed, we should see one of the features. So it's probably better if you don't actually have her sitting on the chair, and if you hit it, you can like simulate an explosion and she goes in the drink. So it's just a simple little button that basically pushes up on this little table section to knock it over and to put the person into the water. So the next feature, and we'll put MJ up here, is it might be that Hydro Man is coming through, or maybe Mysterio is doing a strafing run, and if we push on the button behind here, the bridge explodes, and again Mary Jane ends up in the drink. So whatever happens in this little playset, someone is going to end up in the water, but that's apt given that Hydro Man is the main villain in this set. So that can just be easily reset, so you just push that in and these pieces just lock into place, just held on with the one stud, and then you just can push to set them off again. And the final little hidden feature is that if we come down here under the dock, there's a little hidey hole section at the back, and if we get some light in there, you'll see that there's a rat nibbling on a piece of pizza, and there is a gemstone in there as well. Okay, so first up we have Peter Parker. So as you can see, he's got the mask sort of slightly on. His shirt is open and exposing his Spider-Man costume underneath. He has two faces. He has this surprised look, and he also has a sort of a cheeky grin. He has back printing on there with his hoodie, and the actual Spider-Man mask, which is sort of half up, has the printed eyes on it, and it's actually made out of the swimming cap piece that's been used in previous minifigure series. So overall this is a really nice Spider-Man, and as I said, he does come with the hair. Now I don't know, let's have a look to see if this hair makes him look like Tom Holland. Yeah, so that's Peter Parker with the hair on. I'm going to be posing him obviously with the mask up because I think that's a really cool look, sort of mid-transformation. So here we have Mysterio. Now if you've been watching this, obviously he's the exact same figure in all three sets, so there's not much different here. He's got the silver head, he's got the fishbowl, he's got printing on both the legs and the torso. He has the little laser effects in his hands that can be shot off, and he has the soft cape as well as some back printing. So he is a really nice looking figure, but it's just a shame that we got the same identical figure in three sets. And finally we have MJ. So MJ just comes in a basic shirt and hoodie jacket. She has a sort of a smirky face on this side, and then on the other side, if we take her hair off, she has a more serious face with one eyebrow raised. She has the long black hairpiece that comes down over her back. But yeah, there's not much into this minifigure. So Hydra Man is printed in a light and dark blue with a border type print effect on both his face and on his chest. He has the darker molded arms and the lighter hands to give you that water effect, and then he has this built tower made mostly of trans blue pieces with some stickers to sort of give a simulated water effect as a sort of a tower or a twisting up out of the water, because obviously Hydra Man controls the water. So let's have a quick look at the minifigure away from his little base. So yeah, so that's basically a little brick built base just to give him that effect of he's coming up out of the water. But let's have a closer look at Hydra Man. So you'll see that he has that printing on the torso and the face with that watery type effect. You can see his muscles and everything made out of water, and there's printing on the back of his torso, and there's also printing on the back of his head, but there's no other printing on his legs, mostly because his legs will be inside the water contraption. So the final set is the Stark Industries jet, and it comes with Nick Fury, Mysterio, it comes with Happy Hogan, and it comes with Spider-Man in his traditional costume, and it also comes with two little drone builds. Okay, so firstly we have these little drones. So they're identical builds. They have two stud shooters at the front, and basically I'm assuming there's some sort of little device that's attacking the jet at some stage. These are supposed to be like little gun turrets, and as I said, they have shooters there. They're pretty basic builds, but you know, there's obviously they're the antagonists in this particular set. And yeah, as I said, both of them are identical. Spider-Man can actually go on top of them. We'll have a look at the jet. We'll just move the figures out of the way. So the jet is very impressive. It's quite long. It's a big. It's very solid. It's very swooshable. You can get a good grip on it here at the back, and you can fly it around. It looks good from all angles. It's got the white blue flames coming out of the back, sort of repulsor technologies. It's got some stickers on the side, Stark Industries, and some windows. It's got a stud shooter there. It also has a little, what I can only imagine is a little repulsor that it uses for liftoff and landings. And it's got a printed canopy piece at the front there. But there are a few other little features in here, so we'll have a quick look at those. So coming in, we can lift up this entire cockpit section. So there is a nice little cockpit area for two passengers to sit, and there is room for a third person in there. There is a little sort of table. There's some Spider-Man stuff on a, looks like DNA and cells and a spider and some chemicals in there. And there's also obviously a little stickered control panel. So you can have Happy flying the jet, and you can have Nick Fury sitting in behind him. There is also a web rope in there, and I'll show you that feature shortly, but we'll just have a look at the back section of the plane. So at the back, this section does also open, and in there are some, well, I don't know, clear blue water bombs, which can be loaded in and dropped out of the plane. So I'll show you that feature now. Okay, so we've got the Stark jet. It's flying along, and if we push down on this button on the top, you'll see one of the features here. So basically the trapdoor opens and Spider-Man can then hang out from the bottom of the plane. So it's basically just a trapdoor feature there, and Spidey is down dangling underneath the plane. The blue cargo that's in the back of here, you unfortunately have to sort of take it from that section and reload it in the front section, but you've got 3 of these little bombs with well, of blue, so I don't know if they're water based to put out a fire or if there's some other sort of substance, but ultimately we'll find out once we see the movie. Yes, it feels really solid, it looks really nice, it's got a nice profile, the wings look really good, it does have the 2 stud shooters on the side, and it does have a couple of little hidden play features in it. So minifigure wise in this set we have Spider-Man, we have Happy, we have Nick Fury, and we have Mysterio. So we'll just move those back. So Spidey obviously has the standard sort of Spidey suit printing. This is his new costume. It has the black accents on it. So there's black sort of in amongst the print and around his chest, on his legs, top of his boots. He does have face printing on the front. He has side arm printing, including the little black bands on his arms, and he has printing on the back with the Spider logo. So yeah, this is a really good set, and it's got dual molded feet, so obviously he has the red boots on, and the blue upper legs. So that is this Spidey. So this is the Far From Home suit. Next we have Happy Hogan. So Happy doesn't really look like Jon Favreau. It's just a basic black and white suit. I don't think the hair really matches Jon Favreau's face, and they probably could have picked a better print. He's holding the Uzi style gun, which normally comes with the Winter Soldier. He's got a little bit of back printing on the back of his suit, and he does have, I think, a second face, so a more angry face, but that is Happy Hogan, who has played a big part in the trailers, and obviously with his relationship with Tony Stark, it'll be interesting to see where this plays out. Next we have Nick Fury, the glue that binds the Marvel Universe. So he's got a print of his eye patch, and the eye patch goes around the side. He's got his goatee. He has the SHIELD logo on his trench coat, which is obviously printed down onto the legs. He doesn't have any arm printing. He's using the standard sort of non-gun gun. And then he's got a little bit of printing on his back, but not much. But it is cool that he does have the strap for his eye patch, which is also printed on the back of his head. It's not printed on the side, but that's as good as you can get it on Lego at the moment, so it is quite nice. And then the final figure is Mysterio, who we have seen in the other sets. So again, he has the silver head in the fishbowl. It does look really good when it is lit up. It gives it that mysterious sort of look. He has printing on these front legs and also on his chest. It's a mixture of gold, purple and green. He has the 2 shooters that shoot out of his hands in the trans blue, and he also has a purple lightweight cape, so that can be folded up, and he does have obviously some printing on his back with that gold and purple and green. So they're the minifigures in this particular set. So make sure you check out the great range of LEGO down at Barker's News Agency, including the Spider-Man Far From Home sets.